Welcome to the Almighty Lair, where we talk about hot sports topics, everything from football, basketball, boxing, UFC, and the WWE. Follow and subscribe on all major platforms: YouTube, Twitter/X, TikTok, Instagram, also Snapchat, all at the Almighty Lair, all together. Don't forget to hit the notification so you can stay up to date with all the daily topics. I'm Almighty Fenrir. Let's go ahead and dive into today's topics. Ravens versus Bills. Derrick Henry is in mid-season form. Lamar Jackson does Lamar Jackson things. He's a freaking magician out there. Zay Flowers, he's the best compliment. He's the perfect compliment to Lamar. He really is. DeAndre Hopkins turns back the clock. And what's wrong with this defense? What is wrong with this defense? We'll go into more depth about that in a minute. Let's go ahead and get these stats up for you right quick. The Ravens, man, Lamar Jackson, 14 of 19, 209 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no inners. Derrick Henry, 18 carries for 169 yards off 9.4 average, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson throws in 70 yards for 6 carries for 70 yards, 11 touchdowns. 11.7 yards per carry. He throws in a touchdown of himself running the ball. Zay Flowers, 7 catches, 143 yards, 20-yard average in a touchdown. And Hopkins, 2 catches, 35 yards and a touchdown for him as well. Defense, really nothing to glorify. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now that we got all the stats out the way. All right. Wow. Where do we begin? Okay, so Derrick Henry, mid-season form. Guy was going off. Honestly, I just would have fed him 100 times in this game because he did what he wanted to in this game. The man was running people over, stiff-arming people, and it honestly looked like they could not stop him. The Buffalo Bills, it could not stop him. Bro was doing whatever he wanted to. Bro looks like a mid-season form while everybody else is kind of, other teams around the league are still trying to, get their feet under them because this is week 1. Bro looks like he's in mid-season form. He's going out there and just doing what he wants to, and he's just, doing whatever he wants to and running people over. And like I said, Derrick Henry looks like he's in mid-season form. We will touch back on him in a second because even though he had one of his best games, it'll probably be a game that he doesn't want to remember, which is weird to say. But again, if you don't know what happened, you're probably asking why. I'll touch on that in a moment. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He looks like he's going to be in that MVP conversation like he was. Lamar Jackson pretty much had a good game, honestly. He had a good game. He got sacked probably like maybe twice in that whole game, whatever. But bro didn't throw any interceptions, and he didn't turn the ball over. Guy was doing his thing, what he does, you know what I'm saying? Running the ball, precision passes, hitting people deep, hitting the intermediate routes. Lamar, if people have questions still about his arm and and what he can do throwing the ball, then you just start watching football and you really are just stuck in the archaic days of how a quarterback is supposed to look and how he's supposed to throw, because Lamar Jackson is one of the top throwers in football. Say what you want. You want the pretty spiral that can dot up these guys. At the end of the day, the bro is a great, great thrower of the ball. So if you're lost in how it looks versus traditionally how it looks, then you're missing out on a generational player. Lamar Jackson played very, very good in this game and does what he and only so many people in this league can do outside of like him and maybe, the guy that he actually went against and Josh Allen. But he played a very, very good game. Zay Flowers might not be a top 10 wide receiver or anything like that. But I believe he's the perfect complement to Lamar Jackson. And what I mean is that when you have a weapon at quarterback like that, it you're not going to get doubled a lot because you have to use an extra man to sit there in the box or spy Lamar Jackson. Then you have another guy that you have to put in the box for Derrick Henry, meaning that you have to have a guy that can beat one-on-ones. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he would do on double teams, but I do know for a fact Zay Flowers one-on-one, for most corners is going to be a problem. And so you need that person who can run deep because, again, everybody's going to be down. They're going to be in the box trying to take care of Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson as they should, meaning that over the top and, will be open and a lot of one-on-ones will be, but going across the board. And Zay Flowers, he's a perfect wide receiver who takes advantage of that. So while Zay Flowers might not be on everybody's tip of their tongue of a top 10 receiver, he definitely warrants you to know where he's at on the field, because if he gets behind your defense, it's a wrap. The guy is really, really shifty, and I think that he is really, really good at what they're asking him to do. They're not asking him to be, a Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or even Tyreek Hill. They're asking him to, hey, we throw you the ball, we need you to catch it. And you know what I'm saying? And if we need you to go deep, we need you to beat your guy and get vertical. And, I think he's one of the best wide receivers that Lamar Jackson has ever had, because he can do what they need him to do. Whether that's not being a top 10 receiver or not, he does what the team needs him to do, and that's very good, and that helps out the team. DeAndre Hopkins turns back the clock, man. He had a crazy catch, and he also, scores a touchdown in this game. A lot of people said that, DeAndre Hopkins, his career is pretty much done, especially, him being, his tenure with the Texans, and then he had, the short stint with the Tennessee Titans, where people say people go there as a wide receiver for their careers to die. And, as crazy as that sound, the Tennessee Titans, literally, I think their best receiver in history is Derrick Mason. I think that's their best receiver in their history. So, not a lot of great talent comes there, and if it was a great talent, it usually does die there. So then he goes from there, and he goes from to the Chiefs, and Chiefs really didn't use him that well, because he has lost a step, of course. And then he goes to Baltimore, and a lot of people are saying, man, what the, like, people over here making it seem like this is a good pickup. I mean, he's washed. But again, when you have Lamar Jackson and you have Derrick Henry in your backfield, so many eyes are now not on you. You know what I'm saying? So even if he is this washed up receiver, which I don't think he is, but he definitely has lost a step, but he can still be very valuable to your team because you have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in your backfield. So that is, a lot of eyes are going to be missing you, So I think he'll do well in his offense. I think he'll be productive in his offense. I don't think he's going to have like no crazy 1,000-yard receiving year, but 600, 700, even five, a little bit of five-ish, split carries between, catches between him and even Andrews, who pretty much did not show up in this game. But Andrews, him, Zay, between Andrews and Hopkins, they can have about 1,000 yards, a little bit over 1,000 yards together. So, if he can give you about 500 and so change, and maybe even 600, 700 yards, he's had a good season. Maybe 5 or 6 touchdowns, he's had a good season. But yeah, while I don't think this is going to be, DeAndre Hopkins of old, I definitely do see DeAndre Hopkins being very, very important to this team, especially postseason when you need that catch, when you need that guy to uh, uh, be here at this specific spot. You know he's gonna do that. Like he's a pro's pro. He knows where to be. He knows all the offenses and the defensive schemes he's been in the league for so long, and one of the greats. So he can find the holes and zones and sit there and catch the ball. But that catch was definitely crazy. And then the most important thing, well, I'll also touch on, like I said, Derrick Henry had one of his best games, but he also had a costly fumble that ends up getting the ball back to the Bills, and ultimately they lose this game. I do want to touch on also whatever your feelings is on Tucker, the kicker. He was definitely missed in this game because that's also another reason why they lost. They missed a kick in this game. So I'm guaranteeing you he's missed in this game as well. The reason why he's out, I'm not going to touch on that. But I believe the kicking game, so far in the league, at least, from what I've seen, is they can ultimately, like back in the day, the only kicks that really changed the game, or people really felt something about, was probably like maybe 45, 50 yards out. You know what I'm saying? Now extra points, or people are like looking to make sure the extra point goes in, and kicking now is more important than it's ever been. Kicking is very important. Like back in the day, you would always say, people would say kickers aren't athletes and but like now, even if you consider them an athlete or not, they're definitely important to your team, more now than ever, because people are missing extra points, and then you would think to yourself, oh, it's only 1 point. But if we've actually watched, if we go back to the Browns and the Browns and who the hell did they play? Who did the Browns play? Dang, I'm drawing a blank. Who did the Browns play? Browns. I know as soon as I see it, I'm like, oh, I remember now. Browns and Bengals. I really don't talk about Bengals too much, but yeah, like the Browns and Bengals, you know what I'm saying? Like that game, the Browns could have easily won that game, you know what I'm saying? But the kicking was terrible. And then here we go again, a game where you look back and you say, man, if we had that kick, we're winning this game. But goes to show you, man, you talked bad about kickers for so long that they're needed super now than ever. But my main and like Derrick Henry, he's not going to put the ball on the ground that much. I mean, granted, it was very costly, and it changes the outcome of the game. But I will bank on that Derrick Henry does not let the ball hit the ground, multiple times this season. I mean, of course, running backs, fumble, and that's just a part of the game. But Derrick Henry, for the most part, is very, very good with the ball. The biggest story, at least for me, what happened to this defense? What happened? Because literally, they have, first of all, Lamar Jackson in the Ravens for the last couple of years have had like a top three defense. Top three defense, right? And even predating Lamar Jackson, they've always had like a top three defense, right? Ray Lewis, Suggs, Ed Reed. So they've always been known for their defense, right? And if they haven't already had really good defenses with the likes of, Roquan Smith and Earl Thomas and, just having the defense that you need to win in this league, bro, you have a Pro Bowl D tackle. You have a Pro Bowl linebacker. You have a first rounder and pass rusher that you just picked up. You have a first rounder on the D line as well. and Owe or something like that, right? So again, first rounders on the D line. You have a Pro Bowler at D tackle. You have a Pro Bowler at middle linebacker. You have a Pro Bowl at corner. You have another Pro Bowl at corner. And you have a Pro Bowl at safety, and you have a first rounder in safety. So my thing is that they literally have a Pro Bowler or a first rounder on each level of the defense. A lot of teams can't say that. Some people don't have one Pro Bowler on their defense. Some people have a Pro Bowler or just on the same, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got two Pro Bowl D tackles or something like that, right? Most of them don't. But my point that I'm making is that you have a Pro Bowler at each level. D tackle, linebacker, corner, safety. You have a Pro Bowler on all of them. The trade to get Jair Alexander, we thought, at least I did, for a defense that already has had a top 3 defense, to put Jair next to Humphrey. Now we're saying, like, man, who's going to be able to pass on them? And then if you play Madden, you definitely can't pass on them. So you're like, man, they, along with Derrick Henry in his second year and Lamar, having one of his greatest seasons, and, Zay another year in the offense, and, Andrews is going to want to, redeem himself for the drop that he had. What's up, Jack? And just, the offensive line, Pro Bowlers on the O-line, man, they got the most complete team outside of, many will probably say, the Eagles, and I think that the Ravens is right there. Man, they got to, right? And then they go out here. Josh Allen throws 394 yards, 2 touchdowns, runs for another 2 touchdowns. Coleman goes 8 catches for 112 yards and a touchdown. What happened? Like, and then they put 41 on you. What happened to this defense? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the defense that we were looking at saying, like, man, this could be, I ain't gonna say maybe the Legion of Boom, but this definitely could be, like, you know what I'm saying? This could definitely, rival the Legion of Boom or the no-fly zone with the Broncos. You know what I'm saying? This could even look like that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the Patrick Willis and Bowman led Niners team, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, man, they finna get really at it, you know what I'm saying? And then you look, and the Buffalo Bills, who most would say don't have any real superstars on offense outside of Josh Allen. And maybe if you want to sprinkle in Cook, they really ain't got no superstar, because even Cook ain't even he ain't no top 10 running back in most people's eyes. He ain't no top 10 running back. And they definitely don't have a top 10 wide receiver. So no top 10 wide receiver, not a top 10 running back on most people's eyes. And if he is top 10, he's hovering around what, 9 or 10 or something around there. They put up 41 on you on the defense that we were looking at to be one of the best that we've ever seen, because most teams, very rarely you get a lockdown corner, right? So say, for instance, you get a lockdown corner, right? How many could say they got 2 lockdown corners? I remember the Jets back in the day, they had Revis and they had Cromartie. And even, Revis was shut down, but Cromartie, he was more known for, like, his athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't a true shutdown corner, but he was very, very good, and the pick artist and all that type of stuff. So they had 2 number ones at corner. You have Humphreys, who's a very, very good corner, tackles well for the most part, and very physical. And then you get this Pro Bowl corner from the Packers, and you're like, oh man, they got two of them guys with no real weapons on the outside. Not to mention, you got a first rounder at corner too. You got Humphreys, you got Jair, you got Wiggins also. And then on top of that, you got Awuzie, who is one of the top slot corners in football. So really, you got Humphrey, Jair, Awuzie, Wiggins, all that corner. And all of them could be starting on somebody's team because Humphrey has been starting with the Baltimore. Jair was starting with the Packers. Awuzie was starting with the Cowboys, and he was starting with the Bengals. And then Wiggins was starting last year, and he's and this is his second. This is second year, right? And bro put up 394 on you in the air. Coleman 8 for 112. Dun dun dun. Looking at me, I can tell by your eyes that you're feeling me, and I want to take you to it close to me. Someone check that's what me. That guy 112. Coleman's probably not even in people's top 25. Shakir went for 64. Palmer went for 61. Cook went for 58. Kincaid went for 40. Like, it's wild that I was one of them ones. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of them ones that said, man, the Bills, man, Josh is cool, but they ain't got no receivers, so it's over for them. They traded away Diggs. Then next year they're a better team somehow. Then he comes this year against a defense where everybody kind of said, oh man, this is Lamar Jackson's year. He's got it all. Pro Bowl receiver, Pro Bowl tight end, Pro Bowl O-line, Pro Bowl running back. So the whole offense, every layer of the offense, there's a Pro Bowler on it. Then you go to defense, defensive line, a Pro Bowler, linebacker, a Pro Bowler, corner, a Pro Bowler, safety, a Pro. So he has a Pro Bowler on every position. Josh done got, on some positions, Josh ain't got a top 30 yet. And he put 41 on you. Defense, bro. What happened? Definitely, when I seen Jair go to the Ravens, I was like, oh, man, that's it. Oh, man, that's it. I know they got a first rounder in Wiggins, and I know they got Humphrey, but Jair? Oh, nah. That's a wrap. Hey, go ahead and who are the NFC going to be? Because we already got our AFC champ. AFC champ going to be the Ravens, which they still could be. They could still turn around and be the AFC champion. But we're talking about week 1. And week 1, not good, bruh. Not good. Because we're not even talking about teams who have legitimate firepower. You know what I'm saying? Who legitimately can go and put up 41. We got a team led by MVP, but his weapons aren't top tier, at least from the number standpoint, and he put 41 on you. I'm still of that old school way of mine where I used to love 10-3 games. I love seeing a great defense. I love seeing the Ravens go out there and I love watching that type of football. I love watching the Steelers. I loved watching the Jets. I love watching the Niners with Bowman and Willis. I loved watching the Colts with Bob Sanders. I loved watching the Bears with Urlacher and Briggs. Love watching the Packers when they had, Clay Matthews and Charles Woodson. Like, I love me a 12-10 game, a 10-3, a 3-6 game. I can appreciate those games. Now, granted, we probably not in that same era of defense to where we can get games like that. But at the same time, you having that defense that we thought you was going to have with a Pro Bowler at every level, and you give up 41? Bro. Bro. What is that? Now, again, this might have just been week one. This might have been one of them games where you're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, we've seen the Chiefs win the Super Bowl and still lose to the Colts when they were just ass. So, hey, that's just one of them games. But the sucky part about this is that this is one of them teams you're going to have to get past in order to go where you think you're supposed to be at. This isn't like, oh, well, we just lost against the Jaguars or something. You know, whatever. We'll never see them again. Blah, 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 blah. No. If you're the Ravens, the team that you gonna have to see, and we're not even talking about the Chargers who look better than last year. We're not even talking about the Broncos who look better. We're not even talking about, you know what I'm saying, these other AFC West, team in the AFC get teams like, Steelers and we don't even talk about them because they could easily be in the conversation too. Every team, there's a lot of teams that have a conversation. But for a fact, you're going to have to either run through the Chiefs or you're going to have to run through the Bills. And it's sad because I want to do a take that might be crazy to some. And I've talked to some people about it, and it was like, man, you better not say that. But I feel like it's necessary, as good as Lamar Jackson is. And I think he's great. Phenomenal. 2 MVPs, had one of his best seasons last year, could have easily been a 3-time. He's going to start being that conversation with Dak Prescott. If you want to down talk Dak, you must in turn down talk Lamar. Because we've seen Dak have top tier talent on his O-line, at tight end, at running back, at receiver, not get it done. Playoffs come, don't get it done. Regular season come, bro, he's one of the top quarterbacks in football, great numbers, MVP conversation. Playoffs come, you like, where did that guy go? Because it seems like when the pressure gets the hardest and the lights get the brightest, he disappears. He's played with top-tier talent on defense, from Micah Parsons to Diggs to Bland to he's had top-tier defenses as well. He's had top-tier offenses, top-tier defenses, and we kill him because when a regular season comes, he is amazing, but in the playoffs, he disappears. If we talk about Dak in that light, and guess what? Dak deserves everything coming to him because he does not get it done in the regular season. You must then talk about Lamar because Lamar has played with even better talent on defense. And dare I say, better talent on offense. Because maybe at wide receiver, the Cowboys got him. But he had just as good as an O-line. He has multiple Pro Bowls on his O-line. He has a Pro Bowl tight end, and he has a Pro Bowl running back. What's the issue? And it's not like the AFC West was just great. Like the AFC West just now start to pick up. But this is back when the Raiders were still a laughing stock. This is back when Denver was like, they're trash. The same thing like the Cowboys when you like, well, they have a laughing stock of division too. Because outside of the Eagles, we don't expect nothing from the Giants. And we didn't expect anything from the Commanders because outside of last year when Daniels did his thing. So it's the same thing. If you look at Dak and say, Dak, bruh, don't care what you do in the regular season. You must get it done in the playoffs because in the playoffs, you choke. You play like a different version of yourself. Then we have to use that same energy and talk about Lamar because guess what? I love me some Lamar. I love me some Lamar. But I got to keep it real. If we're going to talk about Dak that way, we must keep that same energy with Lamar. Lamar, it just seems like, and guess what? This ain't even your fault. This game is not really your fault. You played good. I said you played good. But when you are the quarterback, you're going to get unfairly and fairly criticized because you are the face and you are the quarterback. That's what you signed up for. Is it fair? Nope, not all the time. But you get paid millions of dollars to be criticized as the face of the team. Again, you played a great game. But the most important stat that I think that people forget when you play quarterback is not touchdowns, it's not yards, it's not QBR, it's none of that. The only thing that matters at quarterback, at least the most important, not the only thing, but the most important thing that the quarterback numbers that we are supposed to care about is wins and losses. I don't care if my quarterback throws for 150 yards. If he wins me every game, I'm never pulling him out. I don't care if you win 10-3 or you win 50-51. A win is a win. If my quarterback wins, I'm not taking him out. And this is why I think, and again, I'll be talking about this on another video, I believe Jalen Hurts is the second best quarterback in football. Because at the end of the day, he wins. You guys are still caught up on, no, the spiral. It looks so good. Oh, he can throw it in between a keyhole. I don't care about none of that. Does he win? Does he win? I don't care what it looks like. Does he win? That is the history books are going to say Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. They're not going to say, oh, well, he's not that good and blah, blah, blah. Bro's building his legacy right now. He won a Super Bowl. He is now putting himself in prime position to when his career is done, he can be considered one of the greatest quarterbacks because on the biggest stages of the game, both the Super Bowls, he played his ass off. So he is now putting himself in a position to be one of the greatest quarterbacks because he can continue to win Super Bowls. How this team is being set up and how they are drafting and how they're developing and the people that they're bringing in. And just the fact that he understands how to win. If my boy throws 230, 2 touchdowns, I'll take that over a 5 touchdown game and you threw 2 or 3 inners. Jameis, we have to forget. You guys forget that Jameis Winston led the league in touchdowns. He led the league in yards. You know what else he did? He led the league in interceptions. He was 50 for 50. Bro. So if you care about numbers and touchdowns, then great, go get him. And he can get stat merchants who will throw you and even though he played well, you know, what's the bro's name for the Cardinals? Justin Herbert. He throws a lot of yards. You want stat people? Great. What's his playoff record look like? You know what I'm saying? I want people who win. It's great if your quarterback can do all the stuff that Joe Burrow can do. It's great if your quarterback can do everything that Lamar and what's the bro's name? I'm on the fly and not be able to remember their name. Josh Allen. Great. Amazing talent. Talented quarterbacks. Do they got a chip? No. So then they're going to be stuck with quarterbacks like McNabb and Phillip Rivers, Marino. Great quarterbacks, good to great quarterbacks, but did you win? And that's the only thing that they're going to always put over your head. Did you win? Stats are great, no matter what sport we talk about, football or basketball or any other sport in between. Yeah, your stats are great. Top 10, top 5, top 3 stats. Did you win? No? Cool. We can't even compare you to the greats. Because guess what? If you look at just talent and greatness alone, Marino would be top 3 at least. At least top 3. Bro was throwing for 5,000 yards in a running era. The quarterbacks that are throwing crazy numbers now, he was doing that in a running era. No chip. So now he's been bypassed by quarterbacks who don't have better arm talent than him. Like a Drew Brees. I think Marino has a better arm than Brees, but is he above Brees in a lot of people's minds? No. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. He is not in that conversation because he didn't win. He probably not even in the conversation with John Elway. Of course, Montana. So as good as you are, if you don't win, that puts you out of a lot of people's conversation of greatness. Not greatness, but that topper echelon, where rooms you should be in. Marino should be in them rooms with those guys. But when they all start putting that stuff on their hands, them rings, and they walk in there with their gold jacket, and they shake your hand and bling, blow, I got 3 of them things. Especially nowadays, them things cover up your whole fist, and you only got 1. And they come there with 3, 4, and you come in there just shaking their hands regular because you ain't got nothing on. Probably on ring you got to show for is your wedding ring and your Hall of Fame ring, if they give Hall of Fame rings. I don't know. Come on, man. You in a different category. And that's the kind of category Lamar is walking in right now, because we know Lamar has great regular season games. And like I said, this one ain't even his fault. But that stigma of, man, they just can't win the big one, that's going to follow you until you win the big one. You're going to have to get through the Chiefs. You're going to have to go through the Bills. It's not like, oh, man, like in basketball or something like that, like you may miss this deadly team because they lost against somebody else. So now everybody else, you kind of figure that you can, even if one of them cancels each other's out, you still got to play one or the other. And you have not shown that you can beat them in the most important times. And this would have put you guys, at least in a lot of people's eyes, at least for week one, because the season is still young. You guys can still bounce back all that. We're talking about week one. You could have put to bed in a lot of people's minds, Lamar can't beat the top tier teams. Oh, this is his year. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? But you losing to Buffalo does not help you at all, my boy. It don't help you. It don't help the Ravens. And then mentally, if you see this team in the playoffs, the thing about it is, even if you guys go into the game mentally prepared and ready, the Buffalo Bills definitely going to go into this game mentally prepared. What you want to do is, when you have a chance to rip the heart out of your competition, you do that. You could have beat, and you guys started off really well. That's the bad thing. Y'all started off really well. Y'all was putting BTA, bell to facts. Y'all really could have said, y'all could have put in the Bills' mind, hey man, if we go against the Ravens in the playoffs, man, you seen what they did to us in week one. They got even better. They got a top 3 defense. You see what they did to us week one? 40-something to 20-something, bro. So even if they do make it to the AFC Championship game and they see y'all, they're going to be like, man, even if they come in there with that fake bravado, like, man, we don't care. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you remember that y'all got it tossed up. But now, because you guys didn't put them away, for one, if you see them in the playoffs, they're not scared of y'all. That's number one. When they first come into the game, they're not afraid of you. Right? Then, if you so happen to be whooping up on them, they know they can always come back. Usually when you beat down on a team, you take their heart away. But when you're going against Patrick Mahomes, when you're going against Tom Brady, when you're going against Peyton Manning, the one thing that you do not want them to do is instill into their teams that no matter how much are we down by, because you got me, the game is not over. So that means the team is going to continue fighting when most teams would have quit. If you was another team and you was going against the Ravens and it was 40-something to 20, you like, game is over. Game's over. And guess what? The Bills fans thought the game was over because they left early. But when you do not take care of business, and when I used to play football, my coach used to always say, when a lot of people say, when you kick a man when he's down, people say no. My coach said, when you kick that man and he's down, you put your foot on his throat. That's what my high school coach taught me. And my pops even told me, do you kick a man when he's down? Yes, because if he's a man, he'll get back up. So I've always known that when you kick a man when he's down, hell yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're definitely kicking that man with the Tim zone. We jumping off cars and 2 feet in them. Y'all let them off. So now guess what? If you see them in the playoffs, They're not looking at you like, man, we ain't got a chance, bro. And that's Lamar and them, bro. They done whooped us 40-something, 20-something, bro. Oh, they looking at y'all like, we beat y'all once, we'll do it again. And even if you guys is up, we know for a fact we have the ability to come back. We've done it already. This is why it's important to put the teams down. When you are ahead, keep the foot on their neck. The Ravens should have kept running Derrick Henry until his tongue was hanging out his mouth. Run the clock. And that's a good thing about having a good run offense. You control the game. The clock is your burning clock and you're getting first downs. You're scoring. So I don't understand why in big games y'all let up on the run game. For some reason, I just don't understand. And like I said, man, until you shake off this in big games, we can't get it done. Even if we're not talking about Lamar, you're talking about the Ravens. In big games, where are you? Where are you in the playoffs? Where are you against the Bills? Where are you against the Chiefs? Where are you? Again, the Ravens are now the AFC West Dallas Cowboys. We do not care what you do in the regular season. You guys are going to put up video game numbers, top 5 offense. We don't care. And guess what? That's a testament of how good you are. It's a testament to how good you are. We know we can pencil you in for the playoffs. Great. Beyond that, we don't know. And it's left up for you to change our minds. If you want us to change our minds, you must do it. We don't care what you do in the regular season. The only thing now that matters is the playoffs and in big games. And if this is any type of foreshadowing of what is to come, we'll be talking about another year where Lamar Jackson has a crazy MVP-like season and probably wins the MVP, and then they go home in the first or second round. And he doesn't deserve it because he's great. But at the end of the day, you got to win. So that will conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys follow me on all platforms. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Almighty Lair. I know I'm on my Almighty Fenrir YouTube, but I'm going to start switching soon to my the Almighty Lair YouTube soon. So I just wanted to, I just started this podcasting, thing up on my YouTube. So, I've been building this one for years. So since I already have people and subscribers and fans that I know that's on this one, I'm going to using this until I can build up my other one. But so hurry up and get your spot in there quickly. And, but make sure you turn on your notifications and, subscribe and follow. So when I drop anything, because I'll drop daily vids about probably your favorite team, your favorite topic, your favorite game, and I have things that'll be ranging from all type of sports, from basketball to football to WWE. So, turn your notifications on. So when you see me go live, you can jump in. And like I said, I talk to, people who come into the room. I talk to you guys back. And if you have anything to say, I'll even chime in. If you want to debate me, you can. Make sure you come with the facts, not the feelings, because I definitely will. let you know that I am here and I'm ready for all the smoke. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys. I love you. Make sure to follow me again on all media at the Almighty Lair. I love you guys. Appreciate you. See you on the next video.